are waiting in the wings to meet you, who are also in the film.
Oh my God.
That's my name. Don't wear it out. So I wanted to tell you all a couple of real short little stories. One of the stories is about how Tim Burton came to direct Pee-wee's Big Adventure, the movie that you're going to see in a minute. I co-wrote this movie with the late Phil Hartman, my dear friend, and another gentleman named Michael Varhall, who is having a photography show tonight and couldn't be here but was here last year. Which doesn't help anybody who wasn't here last year. But we wrote this movie, and I turned in the script to Warner Brothers, and I went on a vacation. But before I went, I made a list of 200 directors. I took a book on directors, and anybody who had a movie that I liked went on my list. I had about 200 names, and when I came back from vacation, I went to a meeting at Warner Brothers, and they said, okay, here's the guy who's directing the movie. It was a choice of one, and it wasn't any of the names that were on my list. And it was someone I didn't think was the right director, and I said, you know, this guy isn't the right director. And two of the producers of the movie, who also were my managers at the time, said, you don't get it. This is like a go picture in Hollywood. This is a green-lit picture if you agree to this guy. And I said, you know, honestly, I spent 10 years getting to this point to have a movie deal, and this is the wrong guy. And, you know, it's important who directs a movie, and this movie. So they said, okay, and I know they were just, you know, speaking kind of down to me, and they said, you know, you can have 1 week and come up with somebody who is approvable, affordable, and available. And I thought, okay, well, I was very naive. I thought, okay, I'm going to find somebody. I'll find somebody. So I went to a party that night. All right, there's only like, this is a long story. There's about another 40 minutes of this story. And then there's another story after that. And that night I went to a party with a lot of people that were in the Groundlings, the comedy group that I was in at the time. And I was asking everybody, like, does anybody know a director? I'm looking for a director for this movie. And a girl I knew in the Groundlings went, oh my God, I just saw a movie today. Paul, this is, oh my God, this. And the more she thought about it, the more she couldn't complete a sentence, and she kept going, this is the guy, oh my God, it's so oh my God, this is the guy. So she said, it's a short film, I just saw it a couple days ago, called Frankenweenie, and you know the star of the movie. Paul, you know the star of the movie, which was Shelley Duvall. So I called Shelley Duvall, and she said, oh my God, this guy is so up your alley. That's a perfect idea. We screened the movie the very next day, and about a minute into Frankenweenie, I thought, okay, this really is the guy. It's clear. Here's somebody who loves art direction, number one. And so we went back to the studio and said, we found a director, and it's Tim Burton. And they said, oh, great. We've tried to get Tim Burton to direct a film for the last year. He won't even read it. Well, there's I mean, there isn't a punchline to this story, I guess. But what happened is they sent it to Tim Burton against their better judgment. He read it within a day and agreed the next day to direct it. And that's what happened. Not really. He was signed from the very beginning. No, that is a true story. The other story I want to tell you, and this is a way quicker one and probably, I think, a better one, although neither one of them are that great. And that's the story of how this movie came to be. The title of this movie was from a completely different movie that is really the movie based on my kids' show, Pee-wee's Playhouse. And it was called... And that movie, which was all about, it was an adventure, fantasy adventure story with all those characters from the Playhouse, Miss Yvonne and Captain Carl and all those people. That movie was called Pee-wee's Big Adventure, and it was written quite a number of years before this movie was written. So I took the title from that movie, but at the time I had a deal to write a script at Warner Brothers, and I was working on the lot with the two writers that I just mentioned. I love you too, thank you. Phil Hartman and Michael Varhol. We had a beautiful little bungalow on the lot at Warner Brothers, and I was writing a remake of Pollyanna. It wasn't really based, I mean, it was a ripoff of Pollyanna, mainly because I love that whole, I really was writing this whole script just so that I could like lay in a bed and have everybody in this town go, oh, Pee-wee, you've got to snap out of it, Pee-wee. And I go, no, I hate everything. No. So I was writing that, and we would go to the commissary every day for lunch, and everywhere you would walk on the Warner Brothers lot, there were people riding by on bicycles. And I started complaining over a week's period, like every day, to these producers I was working with, like, you know, how do you get a bike? Well, I've been here a month. Why don't I have a bike? Hello? How do you get a bike? So finally, one day, we come back from lunch, and we're walking up to the bungalow, and there's a giant sign on a pole out in front with a caricature of me on it, and it says, Pee-wee's bicycle parking space for Pee-wee only, something else funny on it, and out in front, chained to it, is a beautiful 1947 Schwinn Racer, which coincidentally, not even coincidentally, it's the exact bike that's on the movie poster for the movie Big Adventure. And I looked at the bike. I'm not kidding you. I took one look at that bike, and I went, oh my God, and ran into, this is how long ago it was. We pulled the paper out of the typewriter, crumbled it up. That's typewriter. It's a machine you guys probably have never heard of, but we pulled the paper out, crumbled it up, and just started typing, you know, Pee-wee loves his bike more than anything in the world, and I wrote the movie in about 6 weeks. And this is what you're seeing. It was shot first draft. There was no rewrite except a very minor rewrite of the script at the last minute for budgetary reasons of the chase. The chase was actually much more involved than what you see. I wanted to just tell you I love that story. I wanted to just tell you two other things, and also I really want to thank you all for coming. This has turned into kind of a yearly thing, and it's really, really exciting for a movie that's, you know, 20 years old to, you know, I mean, we're still all alive here and everything. It's freaky. Even though I am so old now, I can't really see any of you at all. I'm just pointed in the right direction. I can hear you. There's three people in the movie here tonight that I know of. I don't know if anyone else is here. I tried to get Elvira to come tonight. She's out of town. She, for those, probably a lot of you know, she's the biker girl in the biker bar. This afternoon, I don't know what happened. He didn't come. So, Judd, if you're here, I'm hoping you're making your way to the stage right now. But I know you're not. And that part was written for someone else, and they came and auditioned and didn't get it. And I knew the guy who played the escaped convict. We were in a play probably 6 or 8 or 10 years prior to Big Adventure, and he came in and really nailed it. The other person who was supposed to be here tonight and could not be here at the very last minute because he's on vacation is Mark Holton, who stole my bike and started the whole thing in the movie. So who does that leave that would be here? 2 people. And I think I'll bring them both out at the same time because, you know, they're both kind of like the girls in the movie, and I don't know who to bring. It wouldn't be fair either way. So without further ado, please welcome Dottie E.G. Daly and Diane Salinger, who plays Simone. Coming tonight. We're really proud. I'm very proud of this movie. I still like this movie a lot. I may not stay for the whole film tonight because I don't have to see it. I lived it. Please enjoy the movie before these girls start fighting over me. Adieu.